All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the April 2026 imaging meeting. Tonight's topic will be about your first galaxy images and I'll move on to your best galaxy images. As everybody knows that around this time of year, the Earth is oriented around the sun so that it can peek out beyond the plane of the Milky Way and see more of a sky of galaxies rather than stars. Of course, there's more stars. It's always going to be more stars there than anything, but you get the point. So, anyways, so what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'll go ahead and get started with my images some of these images I'm about to show you are kind of old, but one thing that just want to bring up is that everybody's usually good about doing this, but since we're going back down memory lane, we may not remember the details. So see if you guys can dig up the details. When I'm getting at the details of your images, the older images, see if you can figure out what equipment and camera that you use to take them. So let me go ahead and get started with my stuff here. I guess I'll share the whole screen. Oh, let me see, there's that. Okay, does everybody see my screen?
Yep, there it is.
Yeah, so my very first galaxy image is this guy right here. Well, obviously it's M31. Now, probably asking, I was like, well, Chris is not framed very well. I was like, well, get off my back. I mean, because this is when I just got a DSLR camera and I knew that, well, for a lack of a better way of putting it, the sky was the limit now. And so this was taken with a Canon Rebel XT, and it was only an 8 megapixel camera. Actually, I still have it, and I'll use it every once in a while, but not for astrophotography purposes. But so one of the biggest problems I had, and I probably would run up against it again if I ever got a Newtonian. If anybody's imaged with a Newtonian, it's that like the eyepiece holder, because of the way that the Newtonian design works, unlike just simply putting a camera on the back of the visual back of an SCT or the back of a refractor, well, you're sticking it into the eyepiece barrel off to the side. So not only do you have to get your camera angle right, you also have to make sure your telescope is sitting on the mount correctly as well. And I was sitting there scratching my head. I was like, why isn't this turning out the way I wanted it to? And because I thought I had it framed correctly. Well, yeah, my camera was on correctly, but the eyepiece, the barrel, where I stuck the DSLR into was actually about 45 degrees off the RA axis. So yeah, of course it's not going to frame it correctly, Chris. So maybe it was a learning experience. I don't know why it came out so black and white, but this is what it came up with. So later on, when I started learning the ropes, let's see, hopefully this will work. I got this guy right here. Uh, this one turned out pretty well. This is my first attempt at a mosaic, and it's a 5 panel mosaic actually, mainly because I just couldn't. I could have gotten with 3, but the very edges of what you're seeing here were just, yeah, they were just too close. I wanted to frame it a little bit better. But yeah, so this is when I had already started learning how to uh, process images properly, get my subs correct. Because back here on this guy right here, this was taken with a 30-second sub, and I did not have any auto guiding at the time. So
Hmm.
this was a single 30-second sub. This guy right here, I don't have the details in front of me. If I'm willing to bet, I always follow this formula, even to this day, somewhat. Uh, Most likely each panel was a 30 subs of about, I think I went only up to 2 minutes for these. And because this was in carry, so it was just like getting drowned out very badly. Light pollution filters weren't the best back then. Still aren't the greatest, but we made a few leaps in fighting light pollution with astrophotography or non-narrowband type imaging, which is what galaxies pretty much are, non-narrowband images. But anyway, yeah, so this was my first mosaic, so that was a lot of fun. Let's see what we got next. This is also one of the first images I took of a galaxy. Um, Basically, I was just hunting around in the night sky. I didn't really know what I was going to be finding or not. So this is very underwhelming looking right here, but you can see it right there. Hopefully, I don't know. Do you guys see my pointer?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's right there. Anyway, that's NGC 2841. I may go back and look at it eventually someday. It's, as you can see, it's a really small galaxy, and I'm sorry to leave out the details, but yeah, these guys right here, and then this one, they were all taken with the same Newtonian scope. And I mentioned it earlier before we started the meeting to some of the people who dropped in early. This was with a Schmidt Newtonian, and just as it sounds, it's a Schmidt corrector plate put onto the front of a Newtonian tube. And Schmidt corrector plate was meant to cut down on coma, and also for people who just didn't like the spider veins making diffraction spikes on bright stars and whatnot. So that was the biggest reason why Neve made this. 2841 is actually it's located in Ursa Major. If you're familiar with the look of the stick figure look of Ursa Major, it's in one of the quote feet of the bear that is Ursa Major. So that's where you can find 2841. Obviously, I've seen better images, but also, going back down memory lane, this was actually a stacked image, and this is before I knew how to take flats. So you could probably tell from the image that no flats were used here. And let's see what's next here. This is another one that we were talking about briefly. I didn't show it. It's a galaxy that's not imaged very much. It's not super interesting looking, but it's an irregular galaxy. Irregular galaxies usually are not that interesting looking unless you're like photographing the what is it, the large and small Magellanic clouds down in the south. Which Perchicati, you did that, right?
Yeah. Down in Costa Rica.
Yeah. So they're going to show those to us tonight.
Not tonight. No.
Okay. Oh well.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, regular galaxies usually they're not very photogenic. But I went after this one mainly because it was fairly bright for the light pollution of Carey, and so this is what I got, and it was exactly what I thought it would turn out to be. Of course, we're always wanting it to look better, but you got a little bit of a shape there, or a look at how it's arranged. So anyway. Uh, But again, that was with a Canon 8 megapixel DSLR and the Schmidt Newtonian.
Chris, do we know if those two objects in there are linked? Like it's similar to M51 in that is that you've got the irregular galaxy and then something next to it. Are they linked somehow? Or is
Yeah,
that
well, they call it the same object.
yeah,
I don't think it's like a satellite galaxy. I think it's just actually part of it just stretched out to the side or whatever.
right. When it was disturbed by whatever it was disturbed by, that's the form it took. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think it was influenced by that little guy right there. I think that's
Right.
actually part of it, and like I said, it's just being extended off to the side.
Right. Okay.
Is that is NGC 4490, and maybe that smaller one is 4485.
Yeah, I could see him doing that, denoting them like that. I mean, I don't know if they would do that just purely for what do you call it? Calling it like a separate object. I mean, it's just a catalog to rename things. Like going back here, I think it's either that or right here. They give I don't even know what the NGC number for M31 is, but they do have NGC numbers for some of the nebulosity that goes around M31, if you will. They have separate UGC numbers for those. But anyway, so anyway, Cocoon. So this was my first decent spiral galaxy in 51, obviously. Again, this was with the Schmidt-Newtonian. It's an 8-incher. I forgot to, I left that out. Apologies. So it's a 200 millimeter aperture and focal ratio of f4. So it's an 800 millimeter focal length that we're using here. And you can kind of see some like faint fuzzies trying to show up like right here and right here. There's one down here. I think there's one right there, maybe an elliptical. Then there should be one like close to around this area somewhere. I don't see it. But anyway, so yeah, that's M31. Now, uh,
Chris, are you there or did I drop off?
Oh, okay.
All
I
right,
think
I lost contact for a minute or so.
okay. Chris, are you there? I think Chris dropped off, but
Yeah.
You can still see the Whirlpool galaxy.
Yeah. There, hang on.
Oh,
He's been eclipsed.
Okay. It just came on.
Good evening.
he's not sharing his screen anymore, so he
No,
must
he
be
got
aware
hit.
that something happened.
Okay. Yeah. Have to wait. And let's hope he's not permanently off.
Yeah.
Dave, you just came in amid technical problems.
Oh, okay. Well, I briefly heard Chris is doing a presentation on his M31, and then he just kind of disappeared.
Then he got sucked into a black hole.
Yes.
I suppose if it goes on for very much longer, we could just maybe one of the rest of us could start and he could
Yes.
pick up where he left off.
True. Yes.
Because it looks like we could, do the screen sharing.
Can we still
I
share?
think so. Unless he, okay. Jim, you want to go next?
I'll see if I got trying to find here's a share button. Let me see if I can share what I need to share. Share screen.
Wait, I think he just, no,
Is he back?
there. Yeah, he's coming back now.
Okay.
yeah, the power just went out here. Sorry.
Oh,
Oh my. All right.
that'll do it. That'll
Yeah,
bump you offline.
I don't know why. There's nothing really here unless droughts cause power outages. So,
Yeah. You
yeah.
want to go finish up? Go ahead and finish up, Chris.
Yeah, sorry about that. Let's see. Um, okay, everybody see me?
Not just yet. Spinning. There it is.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Okay. So yeah, this was with a Schmidt-Newtonian 8-incher, also 800 millimeter focal length, and it was taken with a Canon XT 8 megapixel. Anyway, so I got better tech, and this was taken with a C9 1/4, just to show you how much I guess progressed in the hobby. And this was also taken with a different DSLR. It was a Canon. Oh gosh, now I can't even remember it. It's escaping. T TI6. Help me out, Steve. I think I'm getting this right.
Well,
T3i?
T6i. That's it.
T6 side.
No,
Yeah,
no,
it's
no, no,
always
no. Wait a minute, wait a minute. I got that wrong. Sorry, Steve. No, it's a T3i. There we go. That's it.
T3i. That's the common one, T3i.
Yeah,
T6 was much later.
yeah, yeah. No, so yeah, so this was 2012 actually. That's when this one was taken. So the other ones that uh, uh, the previous one, this one was taken in 2009. All the other ones they were pretty much taken around, the exception to that one, and taken in 2008 is when I just first started using DSLR camera in the hobby. This one, I think this was 2011 actually. This is still with the 8 megapixel. Anyway, sorry, going down memory lane. Anyway, so there's that one, and then I did this one. Now, some of us may remember this. This was back in uh, 2011. A supernova went off there, so I just took my two images and I just laid them on top of each other and just made an animated GIF out of it. So that was the first and, well, unfortunately, only this supernova I've ever captured. But because it was in such a well-known galaxy and it was prime time for imaging that galaxy, I was like, well, here we go. Uh, no better time than the present. So anyway, that was 2011. I said that was 2012. No, it was 2011. When did I get that thing modified? Okay, well, whatever. Okay, so there's that. I got one more thing I want to show. What is that one out? Johnny couldn't be here, so he wanted me to show just one image that he took. And this was taken when, of course, it's beautiful as all get out. And so this one he took with his Need 14-inch ECF. So 14, 350 millimeters. Can't do the math inside my head right now, but it was at a focal ratio of f7. So whatever 7 is times 350, that's the focal length that we have here. And it was with ASI 2600.
Chris, can you
mono.
zoom in into that one again?
Yeah, sure. So,
That's gorgeous.
yeah, he did a good job with this one. Yeah.
See, we're going to assume that that was not one of his beginning photographs.
Yeah. I asked him if he had any, and this is what I got. He couldn't be here today. So, but anyway, yeah, it looks really nice. I mean,
I think Johnny's at Wild Acres now, if I remember correctly.
He's doing some presentation, or at least one presentation up there.
yeah, it looks like some Star party of some sort. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a get together up in the mountains. Yeah.
anyway, okay. So, all right, well, I'm done. That's my stuff, and I guess Johnny's image. Who'd like to go next? I'm gonna stop sharing.
I
I
can
could
go,
go
but
ahead if you want. Go ahead. You want to go, Jim?
yeah, let me see if I can get this to work. I haven't done it this way on the
Okay.
iPad before, but let's see.
Go ahead.
Let's see if can you see my screen? What do you see?
Yeah, you get there.
All right, and now do you see a tree?
It's the tree.
Yes, we
Yes.
do.
All right, that's working
Maybe
then.
the Tree Galaxy.
Yes, it's the famous tree galaxy. So this tree is my first galaxy image. So I had just gotten a guider. So I had the Ioptron Sky Guider Pro and Meade 70 millimeter f5 quadruplet APO. And this was, I think, my second night out with it. And it's the first time I ever shot a galaxy. And if you look in that square just below that tree branch, that there, I believe, is M82. I don't remember how I ended up in the tree, but the worst picture I've taken, but it's also the one that brought me the most joy because I knew I could do it.
Well, it's believable in my opinion.
And if you zoom in, that's kind of,
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
got a cigar shape.
It's kind of M82 shaped. All right, so I'm going to just focus on M82 on my journey here. So let's see. All right, so here's the very next night. And so that one was just a 30-second sub, and that's what this is. So again, 30-second sub, same full frame DSLR with the same Meade quadruplet, and again, just a single 30 seconds. And so in one day, I managed to progress enough to know don't line up with a tree in between you and your target. So that was my improvement that day. Skipping ahead a year, you can see my setup in the corner there. Now I've graduated to I've got the Orion Atlas Pro is my mount now, but the rest of the train is the same. So I've got the same full frame DSLR and the same Meade on there. But now I'm getting into stacking. So these are 30 seconds. So 15 minutes of total exposure. I'm now on ISO 1600. So no trees, and you're going to actually make out a little bit more details. Skip ahead. What's this? Another year. So another year. The following spring, still haven't really changed the imaging train. So it's still the same one there in the corner with the setup and sidewalk in North Raleigh. But now I'm doing much longer subs. I'm now shooting 90 seconds, and I shot 52 of them. So I've got over an hour of exposure time. And so just seeing what more I can do. And for me at this point, I was always I was too impatient to stack that long. So that for me was going really long if I went over an hour on any single target. And then we go ahead a couple years, and now I've got myself a cooled camera. I've got the same telescope and the same mount, but now I'm into mono with an APS-C sensor. And so I've got a hydrogen alpha filter, and I spent 2.5 hours shooting it with that. And then I did 1 hour each with red, green, and blue filters. And so really the same focal length, just APS-C. And I just kind of zoomed in with a little bit better pixel scale. And then this is the most recent one. So a year ago, I upgraded the telescope. So I now have 140 millimeter APO and same APS-C cooled camera, the 2600 mono, and the same filters. And I got 6 hours of HA on this. And I was kind of surprised when I looked at this. I only had 1 hour of Lume and just 32 minutes of RGB. So I've got room to improve on this, but I decided to go after this one again. And I've got a total of 9 hours of exposure and a better scope. And so that's my progress over, I guess that's 6 years.
Jim,
What are your filters, Jim?
So they're astronomic, 36 millimeters.
Yeah. What millimeter of the
I think the hydrogen alpha, I think it's a 6 nanometer.
six? Okay.
Yep.
Jim, is that a G11 mount?
It is a G11 mount.
I had one of those for many years.
I really enjoyed this mount. It's very reliable. It doesn't mess up. It just does what it's supposed to. And it's sturdy as a tank. So it can be windy out there with that big scope. I can still image.
I didn't realize how much back focus that one has.
Yeah.
You can put all kinds of stuff back there. Wow. That's crazy.
And they now have a reducer for it. And so I'm tempted to if they get the reducer and a full frame camera, I can actually shoot Andromeda and have it all in the frame with that big 140 millimeter scope.
That'd be impressive right there.
Yeah.
Or they just making those still as needed, I guess. How much did it take you to get that, actually?
It was a few months. It was maybe 2-3 months. And there's such a nice company to deal with. I mean, you just email like the guy building your scope.
Yeah, I think their telescope, my main refractor, that's the one I've probably owned the longest. I've had that refractor since 2011. And it's like, why should I do anything else? It's not 140, it's a 90, but still, it performs.
They're really sharp. They've got good contrast. Yeah, it's hard to beat it.
Yeah, I've got a 102 that I'm intending to take out in the next couple of weeks too. So yeah.
Okay. Well, there's much progress there, Jim. Is there any reason why Well, you take images of a lot of things, so I'm not sure. I mean, is this just a favorite of yours? This one galaxy you just like going back to all the time?
There are a few galaxies that I go back to, if not every year, every other year. And so, like M51 is one that I kind of track my progress with, and M82 is another one that I've kind of done like that. So, there are a couple that I like going back to just to kind of see, well, what can I do with it now?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, it's wipe the floor with any M82 that I've taken, which is pretty much only two. So, it's been a while since I've seen that one. I've gone after that. Yeah, it's like what I'm saying. It's like I'm kind of a sourpuss when it comes to Galaxy season. I'm like, oh, I gotta go somewhere dark and then try all that stuff out there. But I mean, I'm seeing what people are coming up with around here, so I was willing to give it a try. But yeah, things have been bogging me down. I've been out of town almost a week now. Anyway, okay, enough about me. So, who would like to go next?
I can go next, Chris, if you want.
I do want. Let's see.
You do want? All right, let me go find where the share is here. Okay. Let's see. Where is it? Okay, that's this one. Yeah. All right. Is this coming up all right?
Sort of. All I see is like a part of a web browser.
Oh, wait, okay, hang on. Is that there or not? Let's see.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, mostly there's
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, I'm going back. I'm going back to the older ones now, which are mostly on my Flickr page here. See if I can manage to move things here. All right, so there's the Needle Galaxy. This is with my red system, which was likely the Stellar View 102 with various ZWO things, the 2600 MC Pro and the AM5, and then so that's the needle. I'm doing the older ones now. I've got newer ones, of course, and I just collected all these on Flickr. All right, and there's the Black Eye Galaxy M64, and this is with the C Star S50 in last March, or March 24. And then this is a wild mixture of different things here. And there's M81 with the C Star S50 in March of 24. So this is 2 hours of 10-second exposures with the C Star. And then this is the C Star S50 again, M82, as we've just seen. It's 2 hours again, 24. Hamburger Galaxy 3628 with the C Star. And then M100. These are mostly, a lot of these are C Stars, obviously. And Splinter Galaxy. I don't know the NGC number of that one. NGC 3344, again with the C Star. I'm not sure about all the junk around this. This may be bad processing. Let's see. Okay, and then this is I think one of the first supernovas I did back in with the C Star. I don't even know when this was now. Well, probably 2024, NGC 3621, when I started trying to get the supernova. And there's another version of the Whirlpool with a C Star S50 in the 2024 again. And various NGC objects, C Star S50. Like I said, my C Star is not working at the moment, so I'm doing S30. All right, and then Markarian chain with the S50 in May of 2024. Okay, there's no. Then M101 with the S50. And this ultra. I was trying to get this ultra compact galaxy that's near M104, and I was just trying to that with 3 hours of exposure on the S50. Because oftentimes you'll start seeing other things in these things if you do a long enough exposure, and then various other little galaxy fields and stuff like that. Uh, and then M94, lots of C-star stuff here. M31, that's, of course, you can't fit the entire Andromeda in the S50 unless you're, man, if it's oriented just right, maybe you can, or you could do a mosaic nowadays. And M45 and ultra compact galaxy 2838 in the Pleiades. This is with my red system again. This was probably with the 105, 135 millimeter lens. Just looking for little things like this. The Sombrero Galaxy again with the S50. Let's see, and then more. Let's see. Okay, this is just a silly zoom in on the whirlpool with
That's cool.
this is yeah with my I guess it was with that's with the S50 as well. I'm reasonably pleased with that one to get that much detail zoomed in. And there's the Whale Galaxy, the S50, and C38, S50 again, and then Sombrero again zoomed in, and NGC 6946. And then this is a really old Andromeda above the trees from my yard, a long time ago now, similar to what Jim had in the trees.
Would you take that?
In my driveway here in
I
Durham.
mean, do you remember what it was, like what camera or whatever?
Oh, that would have been with probably with a 200 millimeter lens on a Canon 60D, something like that, just on a tripod. Okay, and this is my very first Galaxy picture. This was taken at Stanton River. This was with a camera 14 millimeter lens on a Canon 60D on a tripod, and we just my son and I just took a bunch of pictures across the sky and from horizon to horizon, and then put them all together in Photoshop. And this is a 5 feet long print that we had made of Andromeda going across. The photograph doesn't do it justice, really. It's pretty cool when you look at it. But that was something because you could see up there at that time. This is like 2012, 13, something like that. It was one of the first things we attempted to do with a galaxy like this. Um, and then there's the word. This is black. This is really getting old now. A reverse of the. This is just with camera lenses on Canon on a tripod a long time ago, probably. I don't even know when it was, but a long time, 2012, maybe 13, something like that. These really old ones. And that's a supernova in M82 in January of 2014. You see that little spot there in the galaxy as a supernova. And there's that Andromeda again, taking over the trees. And there's another Andromeda I took with a ATIC 460EX, my old, and the 102 millimeter triplet, the stellar view. This was taken out in near Lewisburg in North Carolina. Um, and then Pinwheel Galaxy. And there's another Andromeda, again, taken with a camera on a 102 millimeter stellar view. And Sculptor Galaxy. And okay, these are really just all my old pictures. I'll show the newer ones later. Um, okay. Okay, then this was done with ZWO 2600 monochrome on the Stellar View 70 millimeter that I have with a 0.8 focal reducer, and with the external stars removed. I don't know what that is. Oh, and this was the Milky Way to Stanton River in 2022. This was just again with an iPhone 14 Pro Max at Stanton River, and then M101 again, And this is done with a Dwarf 2, a long time ago now, when I first got the Dwarf, for the obvious thing you do. And I don't think this is there. And there's a sculptor with a C-Star S50 and another C-Star S50 image. Most of these are C-Stars and various things. One can do quite a lot with the C-Stars nowadays. Okay, I think that's all I've got of the old stuff. I'll show newer stuff later, Chris. Okay.
All right. Everybody. Okay. All right. So who'd like to go next?
I can go next.
All right. Let's see it.
All right. So they're all in tabs in my browser, but they're kind of in different places. So let me allow. Okay. Touch screen. Share. All right. Can you see?
Yes, we see a whirlpool.
All right, cool. So I've been doing the hobby for about 11 months and 3 weeks. So almost a year. And the first time I went to Arizona with my wife to visit a friend. I went down to Arizona down there in Tucson, and I picked up a C-Star S50. And the first thing I ever shot was the Whirlpool Galaxy. That was the first image I've ever done. It's like 20 some minutes. I didn't know what I was doing. Still don't really, but more than I did. Yeah, I shot this in Scottsdale in the backyard of a friend. So that was my first one. There was some other galaxies captured in there too. I was in awe. I couldn't believe it. I was hooked. And then I shot the M81 a little longer time. This is I kept watermarks on back then. I don't know why. I don't do that now. And so that was around the same time period. Same thing, same area, same time period. And this is the M109, which I was going to shoot again this Galaxy season, but I didn't get around to it yet. I actually really like this one. And this is the M106, which I just shot recently. Way better picture. But I shot it wasn't a long exposure, and it was about like a year ago. M81, the C-Star. That. So this was, I think, my first mosaic I did with the C-Star with for the Andromeda Galaxy. A little bit blown out core there, but okay. And this was, I believe I did this one with my my ASCAR RV and an ASI M 585. And this is, and I was editing it and I took the stars out, and you can see a lot of the alpha in there, which is nice. I really kind of like the look of it without the stars, so I kind of just kept it like that for a little bit. And then you can see with the stars put back in, you can still see some of the hydrogen and the details.
Turned out really well.
Not what's that?
I said that turned out really well right there.
Yeah, I was happy with that. This
See
is
a lot of the pink stuff that you're talking about, the hydrogen alpha. I mean,
yeah, it was really nice on the edges. So I took this picture. This is exactly how it came out of the camera with the framing. This one was with the 2600, and these are all obviously these are all broadband. So I think I shot these at either 120 seconds or 180 seconds. I can't remember which. And then I had it framed because I liked it so much. This is my favorite. And obviously the guy framed it. I had it professionally done. It was they obviously flipped it, but and also did some also some little minor cosmetic things. But I really like this. Andromeda Galaxy has always been one of my favorite things since I was a little kid. So
That's pretty cool.
but
Is that on canvas? What'd you print that on?
that's on canvas. Yeah,
Yeah, it looks cool.
yeah, it's one of my favorites. And then there's the pinwheel. I think I shot this in Texas at Ink Lake Park at a star party with my ASCAR, and it was the M85. And then there's another Andromeda because I can't stop doing that for some reason. And then this one, I tried something new. I tried this was with my ASCAR and with I think it was the 2600. I had bought Color Magic's D1 and D2 filters, hydrogen alpha, oxygen 3, and then sulfur 3, oxygen 3. Yeah. Anyway, so I decided to try to, combine the images with the regular broadband and the hydrogen alpha. Didn't come out great, but it wasn't it was my first attempt at trying such a thing. So there's that. I took this recently. I mean, this is blown up, obviously. It looks really. I took it with the 2600, and it had a wide field on, and so so this is like really blown up. It's not like if you look at the one I took, the actual thing that came out of the camera, it's a lot smaller. But I really, yeah, here's more of a better. I think it came out okay, compared to my first time ever one. A little bit different. And then these are all recent, but I've only been doing this for a year, so they are all fall in the category of my first ones. The Leo triplets. And this is more of a zoomed out with that. Not too bad. These are all with my ASCAR and the 2600. And this is one of my favorite. This one, I really like this one with the M106 because I think if I can zoom in on it. I thought it really came out well. And the core is really nice, and you can see a lot of the dark bands just right in front of it there, and then the blue came out really nice too. So I kind of like that one too. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's one I definitely like. So also, this is the Markey and Chain, and that was fun. Not a great framing, but still it was fun to shoot. Another version of that. So that's my scopes. I have an S30 Pro as well, but this is my S50, and then there's just a imaging thing. This is my backyard in Texas, in Round Rock, Texas, near Austin, and that's my ASCAR V on a T40 tripod with a peer extender and a AM3. And then this is my supernova shot with a C star. It's the SN 2025, and it was in the Pegasus Galaxy. And it's really not a great photo, but you can see it. I kind of circled it there so people could see it because that was so cool for me to be able to shoot a supernova. I was very, very happy about that. Well, that's pretty much it.
Well, I have to say, for just 1 year's worth of experience, yeah, you pretty much hit it out of the park as far as getting your feet wet in 3 ways when it comes to galaxies.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've really enjoyed this hobby, and I've wanted to do it for years, and I'm quite obsessive about it, and I think I spend all my free time trying to learn how to do new things and hang out in Discord and on this guy Nas Astronomy is called. He does YouTube videos too. And then I also like spent a lot of time learning PixInsight. And so it's been fun. I'm still not where I want to be. I don't think I'll ever be, but that's the way it should be. So thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Well, look at it this way. I don't think any of us are ever where we want to be.
Yeah, I know. I mean, if I ever get to that point, I'll be bored, right? I don't want that. So
Yeah, exactly. There's always some other way to take it to the next level, right?
right. Exactly.
Paul, do I understand you just you moved here from Austin, or what?
Yeah, I moved here from Austin about 3 weeks ago. Yeah,
3 weeks. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm staying in Airbnb, and my wife and I are going to look for until we can sell our house. I'll have to probably live in an apartment, but
okay. I got my PhD in Austin, so I like
oh,
Austin.
really? Oh, wow.
So yes, okay.
Hook 'em.
Well, I was not a sports fan. I could have done without all that, but yeah.
Well, I am. I'm going to miss my football. Anyway.
Okay, who'd like to go next?
I can go if you want, Chris.
I do want.
Okay. Let me see if I can share. Okay, can everybody see that?
Yep, not loud, but definitely clear.
It's a very ugly shot. I'm going to go back with, so when you asked to do beginning shots of galaxies, that left me a lot of room to work with here.
Oh,
So,
I was looking very much forward for you coming tonight.
all right, so I don't know that this is my first shot, but this is one of my early ones. And I'm guessing that this picture dates back to the mid 1980s. And it was taken with a SLR camera, not DSLR, an SLR camera on slide film. And the way I was able to track the stars, and by the way, this is one single exposure. Back in those days, we didn't do stacking. We didn't know what stacking was. And so I figured out a way. I had a equatorially mounted Celestron 11, and I figured out a way to mount my Genesis refractor on top of it and then attach the camera to the Genesis and let the C11 guide. And there was no such thing as auto guiding back then. I had a eyepiece with a reticle in it, and I sat there at the eyepiece and stared at a star and moved the hand controller to keep the star centered in the reticle, the guiding reticle. So
is that one of those double crosshair reticles?
yeah, I had a single, but a double cross would have been nicer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But one of the bad things that have happened to almost all of my stuff, I almost always shot slides and the color balance changed on all of it. And I tried to correct this a little bit, so it doesn't look as bad as it did. But so this is my first M31 that I could find.
It's awesome, Mark.
And by the way, these were just, I sent this, thank you, Dave. I sent this off to the drugstore and got them the slide copied to a digital so I could show it a few years ago.
Just today, or?
Oh no, I've had this digital copy of this for probably 10 years, but all my slides, getting out a slide projector nowadays is not too much fun anymore.
Oh God, I just love the sound of a carousel. I mean, that's nice.
I still got it and it still works, but the results don't look nearly what I expect anymore. All right, so moving on to the next thing. My next step up was this picture is from, well, the next three pictures are from April of 2005. And a big thing happened for me that month, is I got my first digital astronomy camera. And this was an SBIG ST402, 9 micron pixels and The size of this chip was smaller than most of what you guys use nowadays to guide with. So anyway, this is like 3 by 45 seconds of the whirlpool. And this is a sombrero, Dave. This is what I did 21 years ago.
Sweet.
And that's like 3 times 2 minutes. And this is NGC 2903, 6 by 30 seconds. So these are through my Genesis refractor, same telescope. I've had it for at least 40 years. And so the Genesis and the ST402. And I did at some point learn to auto guide, but I don't know that these were auto guided, but they might have been. I had a stellar view refractor that I would mount. I had a side-by-side plate for my Gemini G11 mount, and I used to guide with a stellar view and then photograph through the Genesis. So this is the next step up I took. This is still the ST402 S-Big camera, but it has a built-in internal filter wheel. And so this is one of my early attempts at LRGB photography. So I took, I think I took about 5 times 2 minutes each on the sub exposures. So there was 5 times 2 minutes green, then 5 times 2 red, and then 5 times 2 blue, and then 5 times 2 on luminance. And so I combined them together, probably what the program called CCD soft back then. So this was October of 2007. So this, I'd come, a little ways in 2 years. But getting that camera and doing this was the most exciting thing I could imagine back then. So everything I did back then was pretty rudimentary. So I keep all the data from all the pictures that I've taken since I've gone digital, and I decided to reprocess this since I had all the data, and I redid it with PixInsight yesterday, and came out with that. It's not great, but it's a darn sight better than the previous one.
That's massive improvement, if you ask me.
So I think I shot this out of Big Woods, and all the previous ones that were the black and whites of M51 and M104, those were all shot out at Big Woods also. So those are my old pictures, and so I'll show the newer ones now. What you asked were the best ones. So and these are still in increasing time order. So this is back in 2014. This is still my Genesis telescope, but I was using a Canon XTI camera. And I think, Chris, didn't you say you used that same camera?
The next one down, just the XT.
Oh, just the XT. Okay. I had that one also. But this is the Sculptor Galaxy, and this is 16 by 2 minutes. And back in those days, I was capturing with Backyard EOS, and I used PixInsight to reprocess this thing a couple years ago. And then this is the next step up I took is I got a hold of a used ASI 1600 mono camera. And this particular photo was taken through my Celestron C8 at f7. And I can zoom up on that a little bit. Starting to see some nice structure in the spiral arms with that. So anyway, this was 34 minutes. And I captured the data with maximum DL. I don't know if anybody's ever even heard of that anymore.
Wow, that's the golden oldie.
Yeah, and I processed it in PixInsight. And then this is M60. Oh, the last one was M88. This is M63. And this was also taken with my C8, Celestron 8 at f7. And it was taken at my house here in Cary. This is 52 minutes worth of 90-second exposures. Again, uh, processed with PixInsight, and I captured it. I think I captured this with Maxim also. So this one is 2019. And then finally, I got a red cat for Christmas one year, a couple years ago, and my wife, bless her heart, and I put this one out in the front yard and ran ran it for 90 minutes on 90-second exposures. And this is my version of Andromeda now. Let's see, it was about what, 40 years later than the first one. So I improved a little bit. And then I got some supernova pictures.
Is that picture right? Was that ASI 294 as well?
Yes, it was ASI 294,
Okay.
as was the previous one.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Did somebody else say something? Okay, supernova pictures. These are all taken with my old ST402 S-Big camera. This was the supernova that was in NGC 4749. That's in Pegasus. And I took this in July of 2018. If I can read what I got here. 2010, sorry. 2010. So this was with my 8-inch homemade Newtonian. My wife ground the mirror and I built the telescope. And so you can see the supernova right in the middle flashing. So I used an animation program to take two different sets of exposures a long time apart. I think I wrote down what it was. No, I don't have the first picture, but anyway, this is the supernova as it looked in July of 2010. And then here's the M101 photo. This was a lot more recent. This was in 2023. These were taken with my Genesis and my ASI 294. But this my cursor shows, right?
Yeah, I see it.
Yep. So that's the supernova M101. And then finally, here's a shot I took back in, this is 2010 again. I had those out of order. But this was taken with my 8-inch Newtonian again. And this was the supernova there. I hope everybody can see it flashing on and off.
Oh, yeah,
So
it's very obvious.
yeah, I did not get the supernova that Steve captured a week or two ago. And that's all I have.
All right. Good memories. Okay, thanks very much, Mark.
Yes, sir.
Okay, who would like to go next?
I got some.
All right, let's see him.
All right.
Thrill us.
So starting off with very old pictures. This is my first. I think I'm sharing the whole screen actually. Okay, that works. My very first Galaxy shot. This is back when I was using a barn door tracker and a kit lens on a zoom lens on my wife's Canon SL2. Unfortunately, I do not have the raw data for this, so I can't go back and process it again to see what slightly better garbage I get out. But then I also tried Pinwheel with that same setup, and yeah, that didn't go so great. Um, uh, Shortly after that, I got my first actual telescope though, and was able to get my feet wet with PixInsight. This is where I started realizing I needed to learn how to use it. My first images processed out of this were pretty weak, but with the same data, another club member was able to get a lot more out of it. So went down the PixInsight processing rabbit hole. This one's um, this one's one of my favorites. One of the pictures I've spent the most time on, not the most by a long stretch, but 37 hours. Um, the neat thing about this, of course, it's a pinwheel because I was playing with custom catalogs in PixInsight and I overlaid little green plus and little purple pluses. And I looked at every single one of these, zoomed in to verify that things existed there. I got to go look at the sheet here. So the green, all those little green pluses are galaxies, and there's actually something there in the picture. And all the purples are quasars. There's 177 tiny galaxies and 144 quasars.
That's incredible. I
Yeah,
guess I
that
need to
was
look into that one, but I mean, is there a way, me being a cheapskate, is there a way that I can get that kind of same thing with, I guess, a free account on Astrobin? Is there a free account on Astrobin?
uh I
I
think
think there
so.
is. I think you
Yeah,
just
you
get
limit on how many uploads or something.
Okay.
City
What were
Astro
you,
has a cool tool for looking at these things.
Yeah.
right? Yeah. What were you using to get those annotations, Naveen?
It was in PixInsight and I don't remember exactly what I did. There was a
Was it an extra or something that comes with it? Because I've
it,
got,
it
I've got a
it's
lot of these
built
things.
in. You can create a custom catalog in the annotation script
Ah, okay,
and
okay.
then feed that in.
All right, all right.
Um, looks like I didn't put any notes here on the side about what I did there, but
I'll look into it. I'll look into it.
yeah, super fun. Especially I just for the giggles, I was like, I wonder what I'll find. I was like, what?
Oh, I know what you mean then. Yeah, okay, I know where you are. Yeah,
And that's
SETI Astro has
insane. I
something.
never knew you could see there was that much activity going on in this thing.
Yeah, and
It's
I
like you
looked at
said,
every.
it's like a sky of galaxies out there when you're in this time of year.
Well, the galaxies is one thing, but like every one of those purples is a quasar
Wait,
too.
did, did
That blew my mind.
did you figure out
Yeah,
what the most distant object was?
I did not. I didn't even
yeah.
think to look that up.
Could be some
Yeah,
old
Can't
SETI
photos in
Astro,
there.
tell.
SETI Astro has something called "What's in My Image."
Okay.
It's one of its things, and it gives you an incredible long list of everything that's in a given image. If you
Nice.
install that and use it, it's
What's it
quite.
called?
It's called "What's in My Image." It's a SETI Astro suite thing
Okay.
that if you install SETI Astro and PixInsight, and then you use that, you can find out incredible details of virtually everything that's in your image.
I've spent a lot of hours with that tool, just looking around, just seeing all the crazy things you can find in these images.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Could you put a URL for that out there on the chat?
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll put a link for the SETI Astro site.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I'll do that.
I know I'll forget. So,
But it's also you can also use SETI Astro independently of PixInsight. So at least some of it.
yeah.
Doesn't Astrobin do the thing you're talking about, the what I'm seeing on the screen right now?
No,
But
they do plate solving. So if you go back to the main image here, they'll
oh,
annotate large objects, but nothing
not
that small.
okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Naveen, isn't it true that if you do the quasars too, those are really the cores of galaxies? Is that not correct?
I think so. I don't know.
Like, so really you got, one set of galaxies and another set of galaxies, even with the two different colors.
Yeah. Yeah. It's quite
That's
a few.
cool.
Um, this one, this one I just really like the whale and the hockey stick is what common name I've heard for that other galaxy. I always thought it turned out really cool, the colors. Uh, Cigar Galaxy, of course, trying to pull out as much of the hydrogen alpha as I could. And then a much better whirlpool than what I had gotten before, though I know I've seen Jim, your whirlpool. I love it too. And I think Marshall did a really awesome one as well. I've got one supernova shot. This one was last year, I think. Where's the date? April, yeah, 1 year ago. So SN 2025 FVW. It's the little bright spot with the arrow. And then my most recent one, I haven't published it yet. It's a pile of edge-on galaxies with a shorter refractor SQA 55. And I've got the TubeTech IMX 585 monochrome camera on it.
Hey, Naveen, I had
Sure.
a shot of those. I didn't show it, but a couple years ago, there was a supernova in the brighter of those three galaxies.
Oh, nice. Very cool. Yeah, there's a lot going on in this one too. I like this little face on spiral guy there too.
Yeah, Mark, you have the advantage of you've been doing it for much longer than the rest of us. So you have areas of the sky that you can compare galaxies with supernovas because you've taken pictures of them before there was a supernova.
Yeah, it
You
makes
can,
it more interesting in my
you
book.
can do it, you can do the animations that most of us can't do.
Yes.
Thanks very much, Naveen. It was nice. Okay, who'd like to go next?
I have some. Can
Let's
you hear
see.
me?
Yep.
Cool. Let's see here. Can I show it like this? How do I go to collections? Ah, I don't know how this will work. I am on my phone, but I did make a collection of all my images that I wanted to share. Can y'all see this one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. So I think it's gonna work how I was looking to do it. So I'm Brad Miller. I love astrophotography. I'm a scientist, engineer, but I got into real astrophotography about like 3 to 4 years ago. Whenever I was up in Maine, I was working as a chemist, and I had some extra money, and I just got hurt, so I couldn't do any hiking. So I decided to really pitch in on having everything to do astrophotography because I was told that basically if you kind of put in just a little too little, that you don't get enough out of the hobby and it might kill your love for it. So I kind of dived in really deep and kind of went down the rabbit hole of Reddit. So I learned a ton. But this is my first ever image here. I did this sometime in August of 22. I mean, two. Uh, I have a 6-inch Schmidt Cassegrain telescope, and I just had it on a like a regular up down left right, just everything that kind of came stock. And I did have a ASI MC Pro, the 294, and that's what I still have. But I was able to as well get another Galaxy here, M33. So the galaxies were extremely exciting to me. I did love looking at planets and stuff, but galaxies to me have always been the most like far out, exciting, something that like you just never even told about in high school or anything. So it's really exciting to be able to like generate a photo of one. So initially, I kind of did everything just through I think it was Dark Sky, some application, and I would actually have it hooked up outside in the cold, and it was pretty tough. But at some point, I ended up getting everything put together to where I have kind of to what I considered Exodia. So it's kind of all automated now. So like with the ASI Air and with like a secondary camera and the secondary scope, I was able to do like really long exposures, so like 5-minute exposures, and I was really able to like really bring the piece to like a whole new level. And with the EQ6R Pro, I was really excited with all of these. So using the ASI Air, I learned so much just going back and forth. But I started getting really good exposures of some galaxies. And then, so here is a cluster that I really enjoyed looking at. It was actually right near the Stephan's Quintet, I think it's called.
Yes.
Um, So that was a really exciting one to capture. I was interested in how it was the first ever like galaxy cluster ever discovered. So I was excited to for myself to discover that one. And I I got PixInsight at some point here because I was told that it's really the best of the best, and I ended up learning how to use it throughout. But really, in a few months, right after getting everything put together, I was able to start gathering a lot of pictures up in Maine. I would post up at night and then just give it a like a couple missions for the night, and then I would wake up and break it all down and process it when I get home the next day. So here's the Phantom Galaxy. And this one I'm actually most proud of. This is the Bode's Galaxy. So I was really proud of this one. I don't know how many hours of exposure went into this one, but yeah, I feel like it was pretty comparable to what Hubble had, at least for what I have.
I'd say that was pretty good.
Thank you. And this was like a much better rendition of M33, the Triangulum Galaxy. So I just ended up getting really excited about being able to kind of capture, kind of felt like I was putting them in my pocket because, you know, you're just gathering this data. And then at some point, whenever you do have the chance, you know, process it in PixInsight and make it look beautiful. And then here's just kind of a big overarching of like, you know, my galaxy journey and like a lot of the galaxies I've captured. But yeah, that's about it.
So out of all these, which one you would probably revisit again?
Oh yeah, I mean, Bode's Galaxy, I feel like I did such a good job on. Honestly, what I'm thinking of is like potentially getting new equipment to be able to see if I can get a different perspective of this guy since I'm so zoomed in. I do have a focal reducer, so I'm at like f 6.3, I think. But I would really like to get like a red cat to see if I can capture more nebula that are kind of big, and as well as Andromeda as well, because I was only able to get like a little bit of it. But yeah, I am excited to like try to use my equipment out here. I've been really focused on my career so far since moving out to North Carolina. But I'd love to go to, you know, some events out at night, and I don't know how like access to places really work. But I have everything automated to where honestly I could like tell it what to do for the night and then like pass out in the car. So I just haven't really had a place to do that. So I don't really know how everything works in the club. I know that there's like key access, but just like interested in how I can like gather some data.
Yeah, I'll admit I haven't been out to many of the clubs of remote sites. Probably the Three Bear Acres is the most used site. Am I right, Navi?
For RAC probably yes. There's also impromptu sessions that happen. Then the key holders for those generally are for Big Woods. Big Woods is going to be okay for imaging. It's less okay for visual, simply because the light pollution's gotten a bit worse. But I've done what
Gotcha.
you've said, is like gone out there, set up, and then slept in my car while my rig was doing stuff. So
Right.
yeah, pay attention. Like if there's an impromptu, there's going to be an email sent to the members and the imaging list. It'll be the day of. Um, they're kind of informal. Just if you
All
have a
right.
chance, give it a
Sounds good.
go.
Sounds good. And I've been noticing a lot of monochrome, and that's been something as well I've been kind of interested in. I think that that's something that, you know, if you're able to pull out a bunch more detail, uh, you know, that would be a great technique to use.
I love monochrome imaging, but the rule of thumb I would say is take your camera price and double it for the filters.
Right.
Serious.
Right. Okay. Good to know.
I think, sorry, I only see your title name as Miller's Project. What was your first name?
Oh, I'm Brad Miller. Sorry, it's just because I joined from my work phone.
Oh, that's fine. All right, Brad, very good. Okay, anybody else out there want to share?
Yeah, I could share a couple.
All right, go for it.
Let's see. Okay. So like, yeah, that's the wrong one. That's the newer one. So this is the first one, I guess, or one of the earlier ones with the C Star S50. I think spring of 2024. Yeah, there's M81, Bode's Galaxy. You have a slew of S50 stuff, but this was kind of the best one that I feel like I got out when I was using that. I think this was about a little under an hour and a half, just from the front yard. So I was pretty happy with that. So there's that. But then after the Z Star, I had upgraded to a 6-inch Newtonian. I think that one with the Andromeda. That one. This was the original image I think I'd shared like a year and a half ago or so. And I wasn't really happy with it at the time. It was definitely a big step up from coming from the C Star to, like Newtonian and cool camera and all that. But I did eventually get around to reprocessing this with the, same data, just, better techniques. And so I was a bit happier with how it turned out. Again, this is one-shot color camera with dual band narrow filter and blending that with the RGB data that I got. So I was happy about that. So then I guess going back to M81. So this was the, I guess, original one with the S50 and then recent image. And this is with the 5-inch Newtonian I've been using recently. So this was, let's see, how many hours? I think this is like 12, about, well, yeah, almost 12 and a half hours at f2.8. All again one-shot color camera. But yeah, I was kind of happy with the amount of detail I was able to get out of it, and particularly, I guess, with the background, I was really kind of getting this dusty stuff I wasn't expecting. And then yeah, I guess the sky as well. There was also the dual narrowband data that I got in here as well. But yeah, this was I guess, in the last month or two. Just haven't posted it yet. Mostly happy with it. But yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
when you go that many hours, you get the IFN that's around the in that area. That's a
yeah,
well-known area for that.
yeah, like this chunk down here, I think,
Yeah,
No,
all that.
everything you're seeing there,
or everything.
all
Yeah,
that sort of hazy stuff around there is the
yeah, yeah. That's where I kind of always wonder because like when you're on the cusp of it, you're like, oh, is it just I don't know gradients and other junk that
no, no,
like
in that area,
processing stuff. But
no, in that area for that many hours, you're going to start getting that.
And that's
okay.
good. That's supposed to be there.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. It's
that's
always
supposed to be.
exciting to see it kind of continue to develop and not just like, oh yeah, some wonky processing stuff. Um, but yeah, so I was pretty happy with that one. So yeah, that was that one, and then the other, again, kind of recent new one. I think this is yeah, Leo's triplet. Same setup. Not as happy with the processing here, but definitely push the saturation and colors up quite a bit. But still pretty happy with kind of the detail I was getting out of it.
What's
So,
the? I'm sorry, I didn't notice. What's the exposure length for this?
okay, so I'm yeah, typically I think these were 50-50 of 5-minute subs and then 10-minute subs. And then I did also, I think, capture some like 30-second stuff and do that kind of HDR stack for the stars.
This is with the Newtonian, right?
Yeah. So this is with
Yeah,
the same 5-inch, faster ref ratio
yeah.
Newtonian. And this total time was, a little under 8 hours there. So not as much. But yeah, there was this kind of dusty tail on this guy that
That's what
was
I
more
want
of
to
his.
see you be able to do. Is
Yeah,
get that tail to show up more.
yeah, it was more visible like, during the processing and then, again, I'm not as happy with the end result so far, but there's definitely more there that I kind of
I could tease out with some better, processing techniques.
Yeah.
Um,
I've tried to get
the
that tail a couple times. I haven't been able to. I'm jealous. That's good.
Yeah, it's there. It's just
At
getting
least, at
it,
least, yeah.
processing it is always the challenge sometimes. Like to try and, you know, boost the color and all that stuff without, overdoing it like I kind of did here in the background. So, but yeah, those are, man, it's just, a bunch of galaxies all over the image. So, yeah, pretty happy with that. But yeah, those are the galaxy images I had to share. So,
Nice selection.
Very nice.
thanks.
When did you start, Jeff?
2024 with a C star, I guess, like visual and end of 23, and then got a C star like beginning of 24 for about 4 or 5 months. Went wild with it, and then just kind of went off in the deep end. So,
That end is pretty deep, isn't it?
yeah, no, I'm. It's a never-ending pit. Like drooling over the thoughts of a 300 millimeter f3
Never ending
monster.
money pit.
Yeah. So, yeah.
All right, thank you. Who would like to go next? No one? Okay. All right. Well, I thank you, gentlemen, for yeah, bringing us what you guys have as far as old material and then new material. And it's nice to see, how we've progressed over the years. But anyway, okay, so we'll end the main topic there, and we'll move on to the second part. We're running kind of late, so feel free if you want to go ahead and drop out now. But what we're going to do now for the second half is go ahead and show our images that we've taken since last time that do not pertain to the topic we just discussed. So who would like to go first?
I can go as soon as I bring it up here. Let's see.
Okay.
Uh, hang on. Where is my Astrobin here? This is all Astrobin stuff. Okay, hang on. I do the share. Okay. That's this one, I think. All right, is that coming up now?
Yes.
All right. So some of these are supernovas. Most of these are things I've done in the last few weeks. All right. Uh, this is a C Star S30 Pro, the Trifid in the lagoon around between 4 o'clock in the morning and 5:30 for 54 minutes from my driveway here in Durham. And so it gets lots of structures there. And kind of fun to do now that, but the various nebulae are starting to come up now very early in the morning. So it's possible to start doing some nebulae again, at least for an hour or so. Then there's the supernova I've mentioned before, 2026 GZX in the NGC 3955. This is with the C Star S30 again. I just aim it at these areas and then take it and then zoom in as best I can and process to bring out the supernova. And that's a lot of fun to do. Then there's the other one, which is in NGC 7292. And so again, it's these tiny little things in the C star, but you can zoom in on them and pretty much find the supernova. Let's see, what's the next one? Okay, this is Beehive Cluster M44 with the C star just a few nights ago, just to see what the C star can do with a cluster like this. This is for almost 2.5 hours.
That's a lot of stars.
There's a lot of stars there, that's for sure. Yeah, especially if you go for more than a couple hours. And then this is the M98, M99 area, with a zillion different structures and galaxies and stuff. It's a lot of fun to just set something on. This is almost 2 hours of exposure in that area. And then you can see, and if you put it into Astrobin and run the annotation software on it, you can see all the things that are there, which is kind of interesting that you can't necessarily see when you're just looking at it like that. Um, and then M13 with most of these are with the S30 Pro. This is almost 2 hours of that. Just playing around and seeing what I can do with this tiny device. Um, and there's the other supernova in NGC 4205, which is very interesting because it's almost as bright as the star next to it, which is in our galaxy. So it must have been incredibly bright in that galaxy many millions of years ago now. So that's fun. I just look at the supernova list and aim it and see what I get. And it's a lot of fun to try to tweak out the supernova. Um, and then this is the NGC 4205 with another with this is with the entire area not zoomed in. The actual place is the right. See, you see NGC 4205 there in the center. Well, the previous picture was zoomed in for that, which is all these other structures there and galaxies and other structures that are in these areas, and that's kind of interesting to do. And this was a little over 2 hours. And then there's a whirlpool with the C Star S30 and S50. I combined uh, the two telescopes in what I got from those just to see what I could get. It's okay. It's not great, but it's fun to play around with it and see what you can get because it's really tiny on the screen when you look at it. So if you zoom in and process, you can get some detail. Um, Okay, and there's my R3 Comet picture. I did this on 3 different nights, and this was the third night that I did, and I was able to get some of the structure down by the comet, which was fun.
I'm jealous.
So yeah, this was well, I don't know what time in the morning. This was very early in the morning, probably about 5:15 in the morning.
That's
It was
stunning.
just above the trees here, and that was with the S30 again. That's a lot of fun. Let's see what else. Okay, and then this is what the actual whirlpool looks like on the S30 Pro. And so zooming in on that is to get detail is a challenge for sure. And there's other structures that are in there as well. Uh, let's see, we'll go on here. And there's another one, and this is an M106 region with all the little galaxies and other things that are in that area. Uh, and then here's the whale and hockey stick. Uh, this is with the S30 Pro again. Zoomed in, and that's a lot of fun. And you get a fair amount of structure in the whale and the hockey stick, even with this little scope. It's lots of fun. Let's see, what's this one? Okay, this is what it actually looks like, not cropped. In the what you get in the S30 Pro, and you have to zoom in on it and process it.
Steve, that is
Yeah.
amazing. That is amazing that you can zoom in that much and get that
Well,
detail.
on this, yeah.
I don't know what you're doing, but that's pretty impressive.
Let's see, this was 5 hours. Okay, first of all, that's
Uh,
so you do five. If you do a lot of hours on these things, then you'll be able to zoom in. If you do an hour or 2 hours, you might not get this at all. So I just set it up out of my driveway and let's let it go for all night, basically. And then when you do that, you can start getting the color, you start getting the detail, even when you zoom in. No, you can't. If I did this for an hour or 2 hours, even that wouldn't happen. So I've just decided to experiment and see how long I needed to leave something out in order to be able to zoom in on something. Okay,
is this sensor the 585 sensor?
I don't honestly, I don't
Yes.
honestly, I think it is, yes.
Yes,
Okay.
the S30 Pro is the 585 sensor.
Okay,
585.
so that's like eight megabytes. Okay.
It's yeah,
Yeah.
it's a really good device. I have one too.
Okay, and this is the NGC 4449 galaxy region. This is a very irregular galaxy here in the center, which is the 4449. I wanted to see what I could get with that. And and this is now again, this is a few weeks ago when the things were still up, and so I did the IC4 443 and 444 with the C-Star S30 Pro again, and just put that together. This was a couple weeks ago now when the nebulae were still up in the evening. Let's see, what else have I got here? Uh, okay, this IC444 is really, really super dim area here. And I wanted to try to get that. And I managed to, you can sort of see it, but there's not a whole lot there. Uh, and then I just did another region of it. It's sort of in this area here, but that's not so great. Let's see what have I got here now. Okay, and then the monkey head with the C. Almost all this is with the C star, and then this is VDB 38, uh, uh, which is very small in the image, but you can zoom in on and get it, and then Lowers Nebula, and I think that's pretty. I was just trying to get the color on this particular star, things like that. Okay, let's see. Did that? I think that's. Oh no, somehow I missed this one. This is 4449 zoomed in. This super irregular galaxy. It's very, very strange galaxy, but I wanted to see what it looked like when I zoomed in on this with the C star. Okay, Chris, that's all I've got.
All right, very good. Thank you, Steve. Who would like to go next?
I got a couple, or whatever.
Go ahead. I have just two as well.
Ahead, Will.
Are you sure?
Yes, go ahead. Yep.
Okay, let me. I just have two. I forgot to show this one when I was doing before. I really like all the dust lanes that came out of this one. This is M100 in the Virgo cluster. There's a lot of galaxies in here. And this is my favorite one of all time. I took this in January or February. I can't remember this one.
They're pretty.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
That's cool.
Very nice.
Did you remove the stars? Well, no, I don't see the stars.
I did have some haloing issues a little bit on this one, but they weren't too bad. I didn't think it came out too bad for those two big red giants.
Well, those two stars that you see there, they're like actually part of the constellation that, or incorporated into the constellation's actual shape. So they're probably some of the bright stars in that constellation right there.
I like the blue. I like the blue that came out too. That was kind of nice. Nice surprise. This was 100 hours, 5-minute subs, or 100. Excuse me, 100 subs, 5 minute subs. So 8 hours. So it was in my backyard. Anyhow, that's it. That's
very nice.
All right, nice going. See, who would like to go next?
I will. Okay.
All right.
And let's see. Share. And let's see here. Do you guys see it?
Yeah, we see the folder that's opened with 3 photos in it.
Oh,
It's
okay.
opened in another window, so you probably have to share that other window.
Okay. Gotta go through. You know how I can do this? You are screen sharing.
So unshare, and then now that you've opened that window up, share just that image. You know what I mean?
Click stop share, or
so click stop share and then share again, and just open that image. Because another window is opened up on your desktop.
Okay, I got you. And yeah. Oh, all right, then go back and share, right?
share, and then look for the in the sharing, look for the window of the image that you just opened.
Oh, did that come up?
You
Yes.
did. Yep.
Okay. Yeah,
I
this
love this place. I've been wanting to photograph this place in a long time.
yeah, I took this from my backyard. Uh, this guy's about Bortle 5. And this is areas at 29 degrees, about 12 hours, 20 minutes. And pointer here, this they call this the Saturn galaxy, and that's NGC 4274. And there is, I zoom in, you can see there's some detail in it. And that even though the sky wasn't all that great, and zoom back out. And this was 5.3 hours, 3 minute sub exposures taken with my f6 90 millimeter Stella Mira and the ASI 533 MC Pro.
Looks good.
And this is nice example of a face on barred galaxy, and that is I believe that's 4314. And there's a few galaxies in here, and
Dan, do you think you get better results for the five from the 533 than the 294?
um, it's there's less. You could almost get away without darks, and
Oh, okay.
it's less temperamental with flats, I think too. But I mean, obviously, um, the 294 is a bigger sensor, 13 by 19.1, so you would expect maybe to get some vignetting. This with the I don't have the 1X field flattener, so the 533 is nice at the 540 millimeters, in that the stars are pretty round. And but I do find the 533 is yeah, how do I say,
Oh, that's cool.
easier to use in that. Although I like the 294, I like the I've gotten very good results with that, and I'm kind of using that more on my 72 millimeter f6 with a zero point 0.8 focal reducer, and they get a much wider field.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, and let's see, I have another image. Let's see what I need to do here. Do I have to stop share and do the same thing again?
Well, can you load an image into your viewer now?
Uh,
You have to.
let me try it. I don't think, did something come up?
No, you're gonna you have to close this down and go to open the next image and do the same thing you just did.
Yeah, okay. Come on. Uh, oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay, close. All right. Um, uh, okay, okay. All right. So I need to then, it says screen sharing has stopped as the shared windows is closed. Okay. Oh, gosh darn it. I wish. Why am, yeah.
Well, open up your next image
Yep.
and then do a screen share and click on that image.
Okay. All right. Okay. And zoom and then screen share. Okay. I think this may work now. All right. How do you see it?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, this is the Coma cluster. And again, from my backyard, this is 6 hours of 3 minute exposures. And I kind of like this. I mean, there's supposedly 1,000 plus galaxies in this cluster. I'm probably getting several hundred with my scope. Again, this is the same scope in that. And what I like is you can kind of start to zoom in and see all the galaxies. It's pretty impressive. And that and and again, you can start to see some detail in a barred galaxy and that. Um, and even up here in that one as well. But again, yeah, and that, and yeah, stop share. Let's see if I can do this without. I have one more. I'm gonna open up and okay, zoom, share, and and this I just took last week, and this is 3 hours of 3 minute exposures, same telescope, and of NGC 4565. And
Can you zoom in a little bit?
yeah,
Very nice.
yeah, and it wasn't it's kind of interesting. Um, I stacked this in Serial, but I have a new computer, so I just for fun just stack it in Deep Sky Stacker because it has a star. It gives a number, a score for the star. And one night I had for a little period of time, it was up at 1700 and change, and normally it's around anywhere from 400 to 700 in the star, and that's what this was. So, and I still got um, some detail in that. You can start to see the spiral in that, but again, that's 3 hours, and this is cropped from the um, the field radius on the square sensor is 1.2 degrees at about 540 millimeters, and this was cropped to, I believe, there's 0.87 degrees field radius. And that's it. I'll move on.
And nicely done. Especially like the that supercluster. That was really nice.
Yeah, I was gonna zoom, just kind of crop it, and then, but actually, it just is kind of cool to leave it, uncropped and just zoom in.
Yeah, what
Yes.
I've always wanted to do with an image like that is just somehow see if I can get like PixInsight or any other like plugin or script written for PixInsight to remove the stars in those images, because there's some of those ellipticals that actually look like stars, not just, your usual like StarNet or whatever will just remove them as well.
Yep.
So just like I wish there was a way that we can keep that from happening. I don't know. Anyway, okay. Who would like to go next?
I can go.
All right,
I've
Earl.
just I've just got two.
That's fine.
Okay, can you see that?
Yes, we do.
All right. I got a new used telescope about a week ago, and I was just trying it out just to see how it was working. And I pointed it to Regulus to focus on. And I said, I've been wanting to get that dwarf galaxy next to Regulus for an awful long time. So I just let it run for 10 minutes just to see what I could get. And by golly, you can see it right there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So not a great picture, but it's kind of fun.
Well, my first guess was going to be Mirac's Ghost, but I didn't
Ah,
realize there was one next to Regulus. Learned something new tonight.
yeah. And I had heard some advice from other people that you might want to slide, Regulus off the out of the field of view, but I thought, what the heck? And it kind of makes an interesting, double object in the picture. So
Hmm.
What is the telescope that the used telescope you?
it was a used Astrotech 80 EDT. It's f6,
All right.
80 millimeters f6. And my other one is this one. Um, this is M85. This was taken with my C8 at f7. And this is NGC 4394. It's magnitude 11.8. And this guy right here is magnitude 10. I got a couple extra galaxies here and here. But this was 90 minutes at f7.
This is your first look at the.
It's the first time I've ever imaged these guys.
Very good.
I'm like a lot of people, don't do a lot with elliptical galaxies.
I mean, they're spectacular, but pretty to look at. Well, sure, whatever, man.
That's right. Anyway, this is a 50% crop of my ASI 294 sensor.
This was with that new one, the 80.
No, this is with my C8.
Oh, C8. Yeah, you just said that. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
right.
That's great framing. I really like the framing of this.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to stop.
Okay, who would like to go next? No one? Okay. Let me give me a second here. I need to pull up Johnny's material.
I bet we're going to see a killer comet picture.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting there. Just hold on.
Stephen, were you the one who did the comet? Showed the comet?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I think so.
So
No.
there's your killer comet. It's coming to kill us.
Yeah. Not as good as this one.
how did you stack it?
I don't know. Here, I'm fumbling around here at the same time. He gave me the details, but it's in an email, so I'm having to do two things at once. Hold on. So,
Are you asking how did I stack it or how did Johnny stack it?
Both, but you can since
Uh, but I processed the common images in PixInsight first in WWPP or WBPP, and then I used the comet stacking program in PixInsight to align the comet coma or the head of the comet, and then once those are all aligned, then I stack those. And then I put that into a star field where I've removed the comet, because it smears out, the comet smears out. So I just add it back into a star field without the comet, and then I fiddle with it in Photoshop.
well, it was really
so I found the details here. It's not very much, but anyway, he took this on the morning of April 16th, and he did it out at a dark sky site about 8 miles north of his place, which is his place is sort of like a suburb of Fayetteville. The shot is 14. Wow, that's all. 1460 seconds. He did it with an 8-inch Raza. Well, there you go. That says it all right there. He did it with an 8-inch Raza, which I believe those are f2 scopes right there. So 400 millimeter, 8-inch Raza by Celestron, and then the camera was a ASI 2600 color MC duo camera. So it has a little guiding ship that's along for the ride there. So that's a really nice combo there. So yeah, that's how he took this one. But on the other photos, let's see, I'm reading his email, and he said, on my way home. So this is right after taking this image. He says, on my way home, I shot the Falcon 9 rocket plume with my iPhone. So let's see. Let's see if I can get this to work. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, cool.
Yeah, turned out. I mean, I like how the moon there in the lower right too. You can see it
Yeah.
sort of shining and everything. So yeah, for for an iPhone, hey, that's pretty cool. Like, and I like how you can see like almost like as if it's making contrails there on the the upper part of it. So, but he said I was aware of the Falcon 9 Starlink launch, but the window started around 2:30 a.m., so I figured it had already gone in a dark sky before I got up. Okay, let's see. Anyway, said I was driving south on the way home during twilight and saw a bright orange light in the southeast. It was the booster back burn. Then I noticed the second stage plume, so the upper left, it was heading northeast and getting bigger and brighter by the second as it arced over the rising crescent of the moon. So there's another, I guess that's later on. It was easily the best one I had seen today, in which I had been able to shoot it with something more than my iPhone 15 Pro. The sunlit plume lingered a long time too, well into bright twilight. It occurred to me that folks waking up early to maybe check out the comet may have mistaken the rocket launch as the comet. So anyway, so there you go. Yeah, when I saw this, I was just like, my God, I've seen it one time before, actually in downtown Apex, and I didn't. Fortunately, I was under street lights too, so I couldn't really get a a nice isolated shot of it. So
Have any of
I
y'all
get to take a picture of one of these.
did you any of y'all ever see Hellbot back in the day when it was
Oh
Yes.
hell yeah, that was
that
such an awesome comment.
that was bigger than this. It was
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, I mean, it was like it was funny. It's like I was working at Crabtree Valley Mall, and I had heard about it in the news. I was like, okay, I'll get around to looking at it. And everybody knows that there's that. Well, those who live in Wake County have lived in Wake County for a while. But anyway, there's a Glenwood Avenue exit as you go away from the mall to get onto the Beltline of 440. And I was going up on the ramp to go home. I was still living at home with my mom, and went up on the ramp. And as I was going up, kabam! It was right there in front of me. I swear, I shouted so many explicatives. I was just like, wow! I had no idea you were just going to be able to see it that easily. And I got home, and it was like almost like 10 o'clock, and I went in and I was like, Mom, you got to come up and take a look at this. Of course, she was grouchy and whatever, and she came out and looked at it, and she's like, wow, this is great. So she went across the street and knocked on the door of our neighbor across the street, and he had a pair of binoculars. So, but anyway, yeah, it was a very memorable event, to say the least. But couldn't see the ion tail very well, but I know I've seen Mark's image that he was able to get for it, and he was able to pick it up pretty easily. So
Yeah, I mean,
okay,
it was naked eye for me, and it was like upstate New York, and my mom and dad a farm, and I was blown away, man. I was like, oh my god.
yeah. I mean, it was unforgettable. I mean, too bad it only comes around. I think they said it has a 64,000 year period. So who knows what the state of things will be at that time. So maybe we'll be hit by a gamma ray burst before we see it again. Okay. Well, nobody has anything else. I guess we'll call it a night. So thanks everybody for sharing your images, and we'll see you next time.